Greetings, I'm Dr. Avis Williams, the proud superintendent of NOLA Public Schools right here at the Net East, and this is Voices of Future Leaders. Greetings, I'm Dr. Avis Williams, the proud superintendent of NOLA Public Schools, and this is Voices of Future Leaders, and I am right here at the Net East with some phenomenal scholars that I cannot wait to introduce you to, as well as a very special guest that we have today. So we're going to get started. We're going to dig right in. And one thing that I know for sure is we call this Voices of Future Leaders, but you guys are already leaders within your own right, which means that you've got a superpower, right? And so I want to hear about who you are, your name and grade, but also what is your superpower? And let's just share that with everybody. We're going to start over here with you, Jalen.
How y'all doing? I'm Jalen Mitchell. I'm a senior, and I believe my superpower is I'm quite adept at mastering new concepts. That's just a longer way of saying that I believe I'm a fast learner.
Oh, that is fantastic. Yeah, moving through life, it goes a long way when you can pick up on things and learn fast. I love it. What about you, Bailey?
Good morning. My name is Bailey McDonald, and I know that my superpower is my art and my talent for art, and I've been drawing since I was 6, so I'm a very good artist.
Oh, I love that. I bet you've got some amazing work. I can't wait to see it. Awesome. Let's pivot over here to Trinity. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning, everybody. I'm Trinity Jeremy. I'm currently a senior at the Net East Charter School, and I feel as if my superpower is how understanding I could be and empathize for others no matter what I'm going through myself, to just be that backbone for those who don't have one.
Ooh, I love that. Y'all, empathy is such an amazing superpower, so thank you so much for sharing that. Emmanuel, how are you this morning?
Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? I'm fine. Thank you for asking. My name is Emmanuel Saunders. I'm a 12th grader, and my superpower is I have the ability to actively listen. And, that also comes with other things like taking constructive criticism, like some people just generally can't do. So, yeah.
You are so right. That is an amazing superpower. We oftentimes talk about communication as if it's just talking, but a major part of communication is listening. And I love how you said active listening, because there's listening and then there's active listening. Love it, love it, love it. All right, Paris, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. My name is Paris Cobbins. I'm a senior, and my superpower is doing hair.
Nice. And I love that. And we appreciate you sharing that for sure. So we have a special guest with us today, Mr. Ron. What is your superpower? And tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, thank you, Dr. Williams. I would characterize my superpower as humility. I've lived basically a life of service. And so in my current position, I am the Senior Vice President for Administration at Xavier University of Louisiana and the Chief Operating Officer there. And the basic premise of everything that I do is lead different functions of service, whether we're providing support through our building maintenance, whether we're providing support to faculty and staff. It is really a job and a career of service. So
I love that. I love that. And school can't happen without all of those supports and services being in place, right?
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So we're going to engage in a really robust conversation here. And, it's an really important time in our nation's history. It's an election year. And I know you guys are excited. School just got started. And there's so many things that are going on in our country and in our world. So one of the things that I wonder about as a young person, you've got your aspirations of what you want to be and do. But when you think about our country right now, what would you do if you were in charge of the country? What are some things, maybe some changes that you would make, or how would you view your role as a leader if you were in charge of the country? So let's start with you, Jalen. What do you think about that?
I actually wrote my response to this down. Would you mind if I read that off?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I love that he prepared a statement. That's a good thing because preparation is important, right? So, yeah, Jalen, go for it.
So I said, if I was in charge of the country, I would first allow people to purchase medication from Canada in hopes that this would lower health insurance costs. Next, I would try to get rid of private for-profit prisons, which profit from mass incarceration and are contributing to a modern-day slavery. And I would make the legal path to citizenship less daunting so that immigrants choose that over hopping the border. And I will also advocate for increasing NASA's budget because I'm just very curious about space.
Okay, I'm a bit blown away.
Yes, I love that.
Ron, what do you think about that?
Yes, that is awesome. And so, Jalen, as I had indicated, I used to work at NASA for 27 years. And so to recognize that an agency such as NASA can tap into the spirit of the young to want to increase the budget or become astronauts, engineers, scientists, that really warms my heart because that is part of the purpose of an agency such as NASA. So thank you for that contribution. I appreciate that.
And I love you recognizing the constructs of mass incarceration as being a challenge within our nation. And there are lots of statistics around that. So I really appreciate how deeply you thought about that in terms of changes that could be made in our country and positive changes. What about you, Trinity? What do you think?
I had put, because this generation is young, so there's a lot of followers, and there's a lot of people trying to persuade themselves as someone else when they're not like that. So I would try to decrease the amount of violence, and a lot of our generation and this upcoming generation has a lot of access to things. So I would change that our generation wouldn't be able to have access to certain things that cause harm.
Like what? What type of things?
Like, you know, guns and drugs and stuff that aren't used for certain things properly. Like, yes, protection.
Yeah.
And yes, you need medicine, but to sell it and use it in the wrong reasons is wrong, because a lot of people out here are losing their families and putting their family's life on the line because of their being a follower.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate. We were talking earlier about how things have changed, and one other change from when we were growing up is, the idea of having to have a drill for active shooting. We had fire drills and maybe a tornado drill, but just the mere thought that that's something that you all may have to think about and unfortunately even prepare for. So I can really appreciate looking at limitations on access. That's good. That's good. Emmanuel, if you were in charge, what would you do?
Well, if I was in charge of the country, first off, healthcare, mental, physical health would be free. We shouldn't have to pay to, help a person that has schizophrenia and sees multiple people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That we shouldn't have to make them go out their way, and they're already having a troubled life because everybody has their own story, and make this drug, because they're all drugs, make this drug harder to get for this person that actually needs it than a person that, could just leisurely go walk up to the Walgreens and be like, hey, I need this. Here's my card.
Right, absolutely.
It's unfair.
Yeah.
And inflation is a very serious problem in today's economy. So I would raise the hourly pay across the country to $15 an hour.
Love it.
Because honestly, you can't make a living. To live comfortably in New Orleans, you had to be making around like 6 figures.
Yeah. No, you make a very good point. Cost of living has really increased. And Ron, even in your field, do you see that as something that you guys have to grapple with at Xavier?
Absolutely. Part of that is food insecurity. And so because things are so expensive, and a number of our students are Pell eligible, meaning they get grants from the federal government, but the food insecurity is a big part of that. So when you're talking about inflation, how much it costs for gas, milk and eggs, food in general, that is a real problem for a number of our students. So,
yes, sir. And Mr. Ryan, honestly, I had went to Winn-Dixie the other day. Did the little 12 pack of Sprite, $10.89.
Ooh.
I'm spending $24 for 2 packs of cold drinks. Come on now, that's absurd.
I
so
agree.
just imagine the things that's actually important, imperative.
Right.
So it's out of hand.
Very good. I agree
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah, and that makes me think about the fact that you guys are in school and you guys have aspirations of what you want to do next. Because we do want to make sure that we're able to pull ourselves out of poverty and making sure that we can make a good living, and especially as Emmanuel mentioned, as expensive as everything is. So, when you think about that, you all are working towards your goals. And I'm going to start over here with you, Bailey, and if you could just tell us about some achievements that you're proud of. As you plan for your future, plan for a career that you want, what are some achievements that you've already been able to say, yes, I did that you're absolutely proud of?
Some achievements that I've done and made are like my progress with art, because art is all I know, honestly. Like, I just been progressing over the years, like just improving my skill more and more, because I want to be a concept artist as I get older, and concept artists make really good money. And so I also wanted to tag on to the country thing, like what I would do, because I had a really good idea. Like, I love homeless people. Like, I really want to help them. And every time I see them, I try to give them what all I have. And I would, like, provide, like, starter packs, like toothbrush, deodorant, like, all the hygiene products that they need, because they deserve to have, like, good living too.
Yep, I love that. One of the things that I really value about doing Voices of Future Leaders is the fact that I always learn something. So you've said concept artist. Say more about what it is to be a concept artist.
So concept artist is a field of art where you make character design, environment design, vehicle design. It's like you can put it into TV shows, animes, or video games. And I want to work in the field where you make characters for video games.
Nice, I love it. Okay, and I really appreciate what you said about homelessness too. It's certainly a major problem within our city and in our whole nation. So I can appreciate that. Paris, now I know you're really into the aesthetics and cosmetology and hair. What are you proud of that you've already accomplished?
I'm just proud of who I used to be back then. And then, now.
Yeah.
I'm proud of who I am now. My growth. Yeah.
How have you grown, Paris?
I don't know. Like,
do you feel like you're more mature now, or are you thinking about even in your craft how you've grown as far as your expertise and experience?
yes, from trying to learn something to learning it and doing good at it.
Yeah. What's your specialty? What do you want your specialty to be? Like, if you were to open up your own business right now, what would be the name of your business?
I don't know, but it almost definitely something.
You got the perfect name, Paris, right? We could do a lot with Paris, right?
It almost definitely something with cosmetology.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to all work together to find a name for Paris's business, because I definitely think that with a name like Paris and with the work that I'm sure you're already doing and learning to do, you've got great things ahead of you. And one of the things that I really want us to focus on too is what's happening here at your school. The Net East is a very unique school, which I absolutely love to visit. And it's different. And you all are here and you're studying, you're getting experiences. And Trinity, how has that impacted you being here at the Net East? What's been great about your experience here?
What's been great about my experience is the amount of support you get here. Like, people come here and think they're going to stand out due to their backgrounds and their situations. But when you come here, it's like a fresh start. No one knows who you are. No one knows what you've been through. So you get to start new and start with you, like, put your actions into motion. Yeah. And at the Net East, that has happened to me. I have grown so much here within these last 2 years I've been here. I was hungry for a dream and a goal. And being at the Net East has just, like, fulfilled that for me. And just being around people that's positive. Yeah. Like, you need positivity in your life because a lot goes on. So being around such a good support group makes you, like, I can actually do it.
Yeah, I love that. I love the support because we all need that. It doesn't change just because you grow up, right, Ron? We all need the support and the relationships, and that's one of the things that I'm excited that you all have that here at the Net. And what impact do you think that will have ultimately on your success?
Um, it the support here at the net is already impacting my success because they have so many opportunities, such as uncommon construction, where you could become you get a trade at uncommon construction, and it can help you get jobs post graduation.
Yeah.
And also opportunities like the New Orleans Career Center, something that I'm taking part in now, where you could become a medical assistant and you can also take nursing classes and just a bunch of classes for different trades.
Yeah.
That could set you up for success later in life. And
that's a lot of great experience, right?
And that's something that's very consistent at the net, where they show you opportunities and they help you achieve what you want to do in life.
I love it. So in thinking about that, I'm going to pivot back over to you, Bailey. What are some lessons that you've learned at the net or during your high school career that you would share with younger scholars? What's a lesson that you've learned that you would share?
So I just got into the net, so I don't really have any lessons here yet, but I can share some like from my old school and high school. So in Oklahoma, I've been to 2 different high schools in 2 different states, and I have a lot of experience with freshman and sophomore year. And what I can say about freshman year to the young scholars is that don't try to be a follower. Like, don't get into what everybody else is getting into just because they're being popular and they're getting all the attention. Because at the end of the day, it's what you're doing, not what they're doing, because they have a different life than you. And you don't want to get caught up in the wrong direction.
Yep.
And for sophomore year is like not too, like, I don't want to say not too important, but it's like, it's a calm year. Like,
it's a calm year, a little bit more laid back.
Yeah. Like, all you got to do is just do your work and then get to junior year and senior year. Senior year is going to be...
It's a lot.
Yeah, because you're preparing for life after that. So.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, and as we think about preparing for life, I want to hear about what you think is next. I mean, we call it a call to action. You know, what is something that you would want to share with your peers in order for us to be successful, in order for our city to thrive? What's the call to action? What needs to happen with your young people or with adults? I'm going to start with you, Emmanuel, and then we'll go to you, Paris. What's your call to action?
My call to action to further push my peers to success is to just genuinely, like my dude Trinity said earlier, empathy. Empathizing with people that come from different situations, because at the net you meet a lot of people from a lot of different places.
Yeah.
It varies vastly. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't be judgmental. You can't come in here thinking that, you know, you just about to slack off, act all cool. No, they're going to get on you.
Yeah.
They're going to talk to you. They're going to make you open up.
I love
They're going to push you into opportunities to where you could learn more about yourself.
Yeah.
And also, you know what I'm saying, put some money in your pockets.
There
hey,
you go.
come do
Yeah.
this.
I love
you know
it.
what I'm saying? Come work in the front office and let me teach you some soft skills. Let me teach you about time management. Let me teach you, you know what I'm saying, how to conduct yourself in an interview.
Yeah.
Let me teach you how to write a resume. They do that all.
I love that.
They do it all. Yeah.
I love that. And I love the focus on not being judgmental and having empathy. We all need more empathy in our
Because
lives.
to be quite frank, ma'am, nobody cares. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying?
The world is tough.
Yes. Nobody cares about what, you know, you have going on at home. What can we do for you now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can we
Yeah.
help you now? How can we get you into that occupation you want to get in?
I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Paris, what's your call to action?
I say helping more with job opportunities more, just in the world, period. Helping more. Also agreeing with Emmanuel, you could get distracted real fast. So I suggest that you like be your own self and, you know, do what you have to do.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Trinity, you were going to say something earlier. We can pivot back to what you were thinking or your call to action.
Yes, I had a few things I wanted to add on to Bailey and Emmanuel's. Bailey, back to lessons, like to stand out, like she said, to stand out, because being outside the crowd and standing out is not always a bad thing. You observe what most of your age groups like and observe what they go through. But like the net, there's a lot that people go through, like Emmanuel said, that nobody knows.
That's right.
And they try to put on a front like they're not hurting inside. So to stand out is not a bad thing. I like to stand out because I would rather be my own person that follows behind someone else.
I love that.
And my act of change is, it's like, I would say my act of change to make our school experience and our community better is to like volunteer, rather that's helping a classmate or doing a community event. But to stop being against each other all the time.
Yeah.
To be united as one, and we all stand up for what we all know is right.
Mm-hmm. And we are so much stronger together when we work together. And those relationships are so extremely important. And again, I'm glad that you all have that bond here with your faculty and staff. And it sounds like with each other as well. Jalen, what's your call to action?
I think we should all try to not be as uncomfortable on leaning on each other, because there will be tough times, and it will be easy to be discouraged and to lose focus on what you're working towards and what you want in life. And it can be easier to stay focused and stay determined if you have someone to lean on.
Yeah. And, and that's about relationships too. So I really appreciate you bringing that up. And we can lean on each other. We need to be able to count on each other. What's your call to action?
Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so, when we think about a charge, so we've said a lot about where we are in the world and the great things that are happening at the net, what we might do differently if we were in charge of the country. And, in education, we say, so what, now what? And what that really means is, what are we going to do with that? So if you could charge your young people with something to say that's actionable, what would that be? Your call to action for young people to make our world a better place.
My call to action for young people would be, honestly, I don't even know. I'm trying to think. Like, they all said good answers, so I'm really just agreeing with them.
That's good. That's okay. It's a big question, and it's okay. That's one of those questions that it is fine if you have to take a step back and really give it some thought. And Ron, I'm going to let you close out this idea. I mean, you've heard these amazing young people, right? What would be your call to action to our community as we think about what our young people need and what our community needs in order to thrive?
Well, I would say the general investment in education. I'm so impressed with you all. This is my first experience and exposure to the net, to New Orleans public school system, and you all make, remarkable ambassadors for the education and what's possible. And so if I'm talking to the community, my charge to the community is to find ways to invest more in education because it's so critically important. It is foundational. When I think about our society as a whole and how much musical artists make, how much entertainers make, they get paid a lot of money, but they don't get there if it's not for an education. And so to me, if we could invest more in paying our teachers better, providing greater resources for our students, that's an investment that pays off exponentially for society and for our community as a whole. So I would encourage each one of you as you go on to do bigger and better things, don't forget about where you've come from. Reach back and help and model for others who are coming in your same footsteps that you have championed or trailblazed. And so to me, it is really investing in the community through education, because education to me is foundational in anything that we do going forward.
I love it. I never want to miss an opportunity to thank teachers. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that. And I am so grateful to all of the amazing teachers, leaders, and staff right here at the Net East. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Sorry to cut you off, ma'am, but thank you for sharing that. You just rekindled my memory that I wanted to shout out my teacher, Miss G, that actually persuaded me to want to get into those physical trades. She seen that ability in me. She seen that potential in me and said, I need you to do this.
I love it.
And just to piggyback on the net, these teachers do not treat you like regular everyday high school students. They understand that you need a little bit more attention than the rest.
They empower you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
they empower you.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. I love it. And with that said, this is Voices of Future Leaders. And when I tell you we've got some amazing leaders right here at the Net East, and young people, I want you to know that I see you, I hear you, and I love you. And I'm so grateful that you were able to share with us today. And thank you so much, Ron, for joining us as our special guest. And tune in for the next episode of Voices of Future Leaders. The best is yet to come, and there's more where this came from. Thanks so much.